Today we're going to talk about story elements and specifically a plot diagram. The exposition, it sets the scene, introduces the characters, establishes point of view, and there's no story yet. This provides the background of the story. As an example, the exposition in Monsters, Inc., we meet Mike and Sully, the two main characters of the film. We learn a little bit about Monstropolis, the town they live in. We also get an idea of the regular workday for them. They scare kids to use the screams to provide energy for the city. Inciting incident is when the story really gets going and the problems start. The point where the conflict is introduced, something that complicates the protagonist's life. The inciting incident for Monsters, Inc., the conflict begins when Sully accidentally brings the 2-year-old girl Boo into Monstropolis. This marks the beginning of all their problems and is therefore the inciting incident. The rising action. This is where the story builds. The main characters are the focus. Characters get deeper into trouble. Many small challenges lead to the bigger goal. The rising action for Monsters, Inc. Randall, the villain, is introduced. Mike and Sully work together to try and find Boo's door so they can send her home without having her be noticed. They dress her up in a cute little monster costume and take her into where they work. Sully starts to really get attached to Boo. The climax. This is the moment of greatest tension, the point where all events have led, the showstopper, the turning point in the story. This is where, if you're riding on a roller coaster, you've chugged up to the top, you kind of pivot there for a minute, and then you come down. So this is where the story changes, just like a roller coaster changes. The climax for Monsters, Inc. Mike and Sully find out that Randall is not only a mean monster, but is conspiring to hurt the children as well. Mike and Sully learn that Randall and the boss of the company have developed a way to get more energy per kid using a harmful machine. When Mike and Sully find out, they are banished to the North Pole by the boss of the company. Mike gets mad at Sully. The falling action. This is where the events happen that are the result of the climax. The story is nearing its end, and it answers the question, what happens after the climax? The falling action for Monsters, Inc. Mike and Sully become friends again. They meet the abominable snowman and find out how to get back to Monstropolis to help save Boo. The conclusion, or the resolution. The protagonist solves the problem. Characters usually change because of what has happened previously. The conclusion for Monsters, Inc. is Mike and Sully find Boo and defeat Randall. Mike and Sully also trick their boss into admitting that he was behind the conspiracy in front of the whole company. Boo gets sent home. Mike and Sully make the discovery that the children's laughter is more powerful than their screams, which resolves their energy issue. Now it's your turn. Complete the activities in Schoology. As always, if you have questions, please ask.